Please subscribe and you can download this code from description below. Kivy is an open source Python library for developing multi-touch applications. Kivy iOS is a project that allows you to package your Kivy application for iOS devices. When working with Kivy iOS, you might come across the need to configure Python_egg_cache. This tutorial will explain what Python_egg_cache is, why it's important, and how to set it up in your Kivy iOS project. Python_egg_cache is an environment variable that specifies a directory where Python should cache and store the egg files. Egg files are distribution format files in Python, typically used for packaging and distributing Python packages. Setting up Python_egg_cache is essential because it helps improve the performance of your Kivy application on iOS devices by caching compiled bytecode files, reducing startup times. When you create a Kivy application for iOS using Kivy iOS, your application might consist of multiple Python packages and dependencies. Without a proper cache location, Python may recompile the bytecode of these packages each time your application runs, resulting in slower startup times. By setting up Python_egg_cache, you can cache the compiled bytecode files, improving your application's performance. To set up Python_egg_cache in your Kivy iOS project, follow these steps. Locate your Kivy iOS project, open a terminal and navigate to your Kivy iOS project directory. Create a directory for the cache. You need to create a directory where Python will store the cached files. You can do this within your Kivy iOS project directory. For example, create a directory named egg_cache with the following command. Set Python_egg_cache. To set the Python_egg_cache environment variable, you can edit the toolchain.py file in your Kivy iOS project. This file is typically found in the tools directory. Open it with a text editor and look for the env_extra_paths section. Add the following line to set Python_egg_cache to the directory you created. Replace Kivy_iOS_root with the actual path to your Kivy iOS project root directory. Save and close the toolchain.py file. Rebuild your Kivy iOS project. You will need to rebuild your Kivy iOS project for the changes to take effect. Run the following command in your project directory. This will rebuild your Kivy iOS project with the new Python_egg_cache configuration. Test your Kivy iOS application. Run your Kivy iOS application on an iOS device or simulator to verify that the Python_egg_cache is working as expected. You should notice improved startup times. Here's an example of what the modified toolchain.py might look like. Make sure to replace the paths and variables with the actual values specific to your project. That's it. You've successfully set up Python_egg_cache in your Kivy iOS project. This should help improve the performance of your Kivy application on iOS devices by caching compiled bytecode files and reducing startup times. ChatGPT